The Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our ServiceNow series, where we interview the best and brightest of the industry to share their story, advice, and views on the exciting world of ServiceNow and digital transformation.
You're listening to the Alldus podcast ServiceNow series. Our guest today is Ben Wilcox. Ben is the ServiceNow Americas Practice Leader for IBM. Ben, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me here. Looking forward to this discussion today.
Yeah, I know we've been talking about it for a while, so very much looking forward to doing this. So Ben, let's start with yourself, please, as we do with all of our guests. Could you give us a bit of an overview of your background in technology and what your journey has been from where you started out early on, some of the roles you've held along the way, and what's led you to where you are today as the ServiceNow Practice Leader for IBM?
My entire career has been in the professional services space, including a couple small high growth companies, as well as top tier organizations like where I am today at IBM. I spent 16 years at PwC. So I've got a breadth of experience in different size organizations and different services. Early on, I was focused more around payment accuracy and contract compliance, but moved into the software and IT asset management space. I had the opportunity at PwC. While in the UK, I set up a practice around IT asset management, software asset management, software licensing, working for organizations to manage cost. Subsequently, did a similar exercise in the US with PwC, and then migrated to a smaller consultancy, the Angle Point, that focused entirely on IT asset management. And through that journey, very close to software and the enterprise technology space, and what we saw was the advent of ServiceNow and service management, and ultimately moving into IT asset management, the growth of the platform, and the work that we were doing with Fortune 500 companies was touching on ServiceNow almost continuously. And so started investing in understanding that space, understanding the platform. And then about 3 years ago, just under 3 years ago, I had the opportunity to join IBM in a customer success role, really going out to market with key clients and working to develop our service delivery and our approach to executing the implementation configuration of ServiceNow for our clients. So really evolved into a very focused effort with regard to ServiceNow here at IBM. And this quarter, beginning of Q1, beginning of 2024, I stepped into the Americas Practice Lead role, which I'm very excited about.
Amazing. Thank you so much for that. So let's jump straight into it because you touched on it. You've recently taken on the role of Practice Lead for the Americas. So set the landscape. First of all, talk to us about the ServiceNow Practice Americas group thus far. What are your key responsibilities? And then maybe give us some insight into the types of customer conversations you're having and what problems you're solving.
Our IBM partnership with ServiceNow is very significant. We are a global elite partner, and that gives us recognition for the overall size of our practice and the services that we've executed with our clients, the breadth of services, and also the breadth of our capabilities from headcount and certification, et cetera. We're very proud of that status, and we will continue striving to maintain that status. But really, my focus is on the Americas in terms of working with our clients to understand their challenges, their desired outcomes that they're trying to achieve, and how we align our expertise around ServiceNow to collaborate on co-create on a solution, and then subsequently the execution of services. So really go to market and execution of services are all under my remit, my vision. And my aim is that we bring that expertise to really wow our clients and establish a strong relationship and deliver value based on the platform. And ultimately, it is about digital workplace and driving operational efficiency, reducing costs for our organization, and driving success based on achieving goals with our clients. What we're seeing today, I think, is really A further adoption of the ServiceNow platform. ServiceNow has been around for many years, and there's a number of early adopters. And so there's a combination of things happening today. One is where organizations are looking at their implementations and saying, we can have a stronger strategic approach to how we're leveraging the platform and realizing that across the enterprise. And two, looking at adopting a greater amount of the platform, whether it be deeper aspects with IT asset management, IT operations management, or expanding into other modules such as HR service delivery or customer service management outside the IT space, but across the enterprise. I think further, there's an element around industry-specific areas. Can the platform do this for me? There's some very interesting conversations, but it is about how can I, as a ServiceNow platform owner, realize greater value and have greater adoption rate across my organization to really have ServiceNow the system that enables a stronger unified platform. I'm sounding a little bit like a sales pitch, but it is really about a strategic vision that needs to be driven with from a C-suite downward. And I think that strategic vision is really about how do we drive stronger, more consistent, sustainable services at a lower cost rate, and how do we drive a better user experience versus logging into multiple applications? How can we have one portal that enables self-service functionality and automated workflows and such?
Mm-hmm. Look, you mentioned that it sounds like a bit of a sales conversation, but a big part of your role and what the partners are doing is speaking to the end users, potential customers, and letting them see the broader capabilities of the platform. And I know from being at the partner kickoff at the beginning of the year, that was very much the message from ServiceNow to the partner community. How can you help the end users get more out of the platform? Given your role is coming from the customer success side, what opportunities are you seeing? What questions are you being asked? And what recent success stories are you seeing about educating IBM's customers from where they're utilizing the platform now to what more they can get from it? Are there any recent examples, either from yourself directly or from the team beneath you, on the success that IBM is having in helping further implement the ServiceNow platform to get more use out before the customers?
I guess just to highlight a couple areas, outside the IT space directly, one area would be security. This is a topic that's coming up more and more frequently. ServiceNow migrated their security, their governance risk compliance or GRC solution to IRM, integrated risk management. And there's a number of components underneath that label that really position ServiceNow as leader in the space in terms of providing security solutions to clients. So there's education within IBM that we work on. There's education with the clients in terms of alignment to a security strategy and how ServiceNow can underpin that strategy and leveraging the IRM solution, vulnerability response, and other components to really enable executing a more holistic ServiceNow strategy on the ServiceNow platform, the ability to integrate with other technologies as well. So that's one area, and I would expect ServiceNow to continue to drive innovation within that space and strive to be a leader in that space. That allows us to, as a reference, we've been working with our IBM team. We have a deep security consulting transformation presence, and so that allows us to work with that team in terms of strategy and alignment on vision and how the service platform can enable execution of that vision. So security is one aspect. Another area is HR service delivery or HRSD. Many times the organization will say, we've got success factors or Workday, we've got this figured out. Once again, we have talent transformation practice that's very robust in terms of working with clients and transforming the services related to HR, from recruiting all the way through retirement of an individual, and certainly knowledge around these specific HR solutions, like I said, Oracle, HCM, SuccessFactors, Workdays, et cetera. However, there is a better together story that plays out with regard to ServiceNow and HCM solutions, and really the enablement of self-service functionalities and a single platform or portal for users to go into making it easier to execute certain activities, and also leading into what we've seen this year with the advent of AI and chat functionality or chat assist. There's certain aspects that leveraging those assist functions that can enable that user experience more significantly. So I'll give you an example. In our own environment, we can certainly go into Workday and I can do a managerial change, or I can use a Slack chat function and say, I want to change Chris to a new manager. I can put in Chris's email, and then the request is for new manager. Put in the effective date. 2 minutes, I'm done. So compare that to years in the past where you work with somebody from HR, might take a couple days, to then now going into Workday and going through a number of different clunky sections in Workday. This is through Chat Assist, very ease of functionality. But same aspect in terms of layering ServiceNow on top. It's the connectivity of enabling self-service functionality, logging into a single portal versus logging into a secondary application. So those are just a couple examples I would share around security and HR, which we're working with clients to have conversations and to evolve how the platform's deployed across the enterprise.
You are listening to the Alldus podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
You mentioned and you referenced the AI, and obviously IBM's position in the market. You guys are bringing a lot of AI applications to your customers across the business in all industries, and ServiceNow are obviously championing AI as a big focus for them. Given your role, when you look at the near-term roadmap for IBM's ServiceNow practice, what are some of the opportunities that you see to leverage and combine IBM's already strong position in the market with its AI capabilities, and then leaning into ServiceNow increase functionality and use cases for AI? What are you excited about? Where do you see that evolving?
My answer today is going to be something different in 30 days, 60 days, 6 months from now, because of the evolving AI discussion, right? The AI journey. We as a corporate enterprise, we're already on a digital workplace transformation. We've been on that transformation for several years, right? Gen AI is only accelerating that. And I think Gen AI is going to have an impact on the corporate world that none of us have seen previously. That is really going to drive automation, operational efficiency, ease of access to information, a variety of aspects. There's not a piece of the enterprise, from HR through IT management through operations, finance, that Gen AI can't apply. So our challenge in working with clients is thinking about the use case, the desired outcome. How do we leverage the native capabilities on ServiceNow Platform versus bringing in incremental Gen AI functionality and to complement that? And it just depends on the scenario. Now, we have a use case with regard to service management that we call Blue Buddy. We defined the solution. We've taken it to a couple of clients, and basically this is an assist Blue Buddy chat functionality that uses watsonx Orchestrate as well as ServiceNow to execute a service management request, identify put it in front of the relevant manager, but then allow the manager to identify the best resource on the team based on past experience to assign the service request, and which ultimately would mean that you're putting somebody with knowledge and past experience to execute. And subsequently, the expectation would be that it would be the most efficient aspect and most efficient response and timely response to that. So manager selects the individual, and then that individual gets notified, and ServiceNow ITSM is executing the assignment of the task, and Blue Buddy is keeping everybody informed in terms of notifications. So it's tough for me to describe here, but this is an area where we're applying the ServiceNow platform and bringing our watsonx Orchestrate solution together for driving operational efficiency.
Staying on the topic then of what's next, obviously the landscape can change, but what is clear that IBM as an elite partner is having a significant investment into its ServiceNow capabilities, both on the customer success side of things and then on the execution and delivery. What does that translate to in terms of opportunity? Because speaking to an audience of ServiceNow professionals, many of whom are listening in to hear about the latest and greatest in companies and what opportunity may be available for them, you've got broader oversight of the Americas growth plan. Where do you see the investment being made? How will that translate into possible opportunities for people to come and join IBM over the next 12 to 24 months on this journey?
So my focus and my oversight is with regard to our ServiceNow team, but I think it's important to recognize the breadth of IBM capabilities. As I mentioned earlier in this discussion, we have multiple competencies across the organization, from security, talent transformation, customer transformation, employee experience design, the Watson X, the technical team, SAP, Salesforce, so many different competencies across IBM that there's an opportunity for somebody to really step in and develop a career path at IBM. And it's once you're at IBM, it's really up to you to decide the pathway you can go, and you can certainly reinvent yourself in different paths and take a technical route or a customer-facing relationship route. There's a myriad of options, and that's really one of the benefits from a career path standpoint at IBM. One of the things from my standpoint in terms of ServiceNow, we will continue to add to our capacity, add to our headcount, but also look for bringing on certain skill sets in terms of the platform itself regarding the IT, we call it the ITX space, but also security, HRSD, CSM, these other areas that the platform is being basically adopted by corporate America, and our challenge is to bring the right skill set, the right experience. So I always compare it to, I want those people that have ran the 5K races, that have those T-shirts and can share experiences about working with clients. And we'll continue to look for that expertise to add to our team as we continue to grow and expand our presence in the ServiceNow market space. My aim is to work with clients to bring that expertise and, like I said earlier, to wow our clients on the delivery. And it's not just the technical delivery, it's the vision and achieving outcomes that are differential. And along that lines, it's not just about our ServiceNow team, it's about bringing some of these other competencies that I mentioned, us working with our talent transformation team or our security team to bring the technical and ServiceNow knowledge, but also complement with those other competencies to add greater value to our clients. So from a career standpoint, there's tremendous opportunities for people to join IBM on the ServiceNow front. I love networking with individuals in this space, understanding their journey and where they want to go in ServiceNow, and listening to some of the very interesting ideas that people have in terms of where the platform can be applied and to really bring interesting conversations to our client.
Final question for me then, Ben, staying on this topic, because obviously tremendous growth, tremendous opportunity. As someone who you've worked in different organizations, you've followed the path of ITAM, and you've leaned now heavily into ServiceNow, initially on the customer side. You find yourself now practice leader for the US. So you've got a unique perspective on the opportunity that exists within IBM. You've already touched on it. So I want to finish on a message to potential future employees. As a senior leader in the business, you're obviously shaping strategy, customer journey, opportunity, but you're also helping the leaders in the managerial structure make sure they have good talent to support the growing customer needs. If you were speaking to a candidate who you felt could add value to the IBM team, what is it that you would tell them about the ServiceNow practice that would get them excited enough to join you guys over some of the other great companies also trying to hire these talented individuals?
So I think it's a bit of expanding on what I just touched on in terms of the breadth of IBM. If we were a smaller organization centered around ServiceNow, what I would categorize as a boutique dedicated ServiceNow organizations, which there are a number of great organizations that have just pure play ServiceNow capabilities. They are limited to just that. we have the benefit of having the breadth of IBM capabilities, the security, the customer transformation, the talent transformation, these other talent pools, competency teams, Watson X, having that to bring to our clients, these additional competencies to bring to our clients to complement what we do in the ServiceNow space, allows us to drive a more comprehensive vision with our clients, to bring more services, but more value to our clients. So if we bring in our talent transformation team, it's not just about implementing HRSD. It's about truly transforming the employee experience from recruiting through various stages of their life cycle at the organization, and really defining operational efficiency in that specific area, but the ease of executing self-services functions and design around the portal and so forth. We have those capabilities that we can bring into the client discussions, and that differentiates us from many other organizations. So that, to me, is what's really exciting about being at IBM and what we can bring to our clients. And if I was talking to somebody in terms of what the opportunity is for them, in terms of being in front of a client, this is exciting to be able to deliver those kind of services to the client.
What a great way to finish. Ben, thank you so much for coming on today. Really appreciate you doing this. I know we've been talking about it for a while now, so it was great to get you on the show. Incredible insight into the ServiceNow practice at IBM, your own journey, and also the tremendous opportunity that exists within the practice for people who want to further their own skills, but also on the customer side as well, what you guys can offer to your customers. So really appreciate you sharing the landscape of the IBM service practice right now. Very much look forward to having you back on the show again in the near future to hear about the continued success. So thanks so much for today.
Thanks for having me today. It's great having this conversation and really excited about 2024. And yeah, thanks for sharing a little bit about what we do at IBM and our ServiceNow practice.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.